Today, I'm going to show you a guide on how to use Manchester United on Football Manager 2023. You can see I managed to lift the Premier League trophy in the first season. This is with up-to-date transfers. This is with free, very realistic tactic as well, created around the Erik ten Hag style of play. 3 systems which you can use for attacking, defensive, or for your average game. Without further ado, let's get right into it. What's going on there, guys? Kempy here, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a very new style of video from myself. I'm starting a brand new mini-series of FM guides for the 23-24 season for specific teams. Now, you've seen league guides from Roundabouts and Sortitoutsi, but this is going to be for specific teams, for, you know, specific rebuilds that I like to do. This is sort of a different style. This is one season. This is, I'm going to make some tactics for the team based on their real life tactics, and we're doing it with the up-to-date transfers. Full realism. It's going to be very, very exciting. Now, you can tell from the shirt I'm wearing and the two tops behind me, I'm a Manchester United fan. And obviously, to me, to start off, I'm going to do United. And I've made 3 tactics, which are all absolutely fantastic. I've got separate sims of them as well, which I am going to go through and show you. You saw in the start as well, we did win the league. So it's a very successful sort of little rebuild. I've tried to keep transfers as realistic as possible. Sort of a few little hints and tips of wonder kids in the team as well. And again, I can do this with any team possible. I do the research into tactics, etc. So in the comments below, who would you guys like to see? I imagine there's been quite a few, you know, Brighton, maybe Nottingham Forest with their new signings, Luton, possibly if you're starting to save with Liverpool if they sell Salah. It's 2 o'clock on deadline day. You never know what's going to happen, so get your comments in down below on who you want me to see me do this with next. And obviously I'm going to go through, first of all, the actual season that I played through. I made this save as a little bit of fun, a little bit of a playthrough for myself, and we ended up winning the league. 88 points, 6 clear of Liverpool, just 2 losses all season, which was Liverpool and 2 Spurs. So in classic United fashion, away from home, not very good against the top 8, but they were the only 2 losses of the entire season. 10 draws and 26 wins with a 72 goal difference, and Rasmus Højlund was second on the goal scorers charts behind Erling Haaland. Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes sharing 14 assists apiece. Andre Onana top of the clean sheets with 21 is fantastic to see. Most goals we scored was 99. That's a whole 16 clear of Manchester City. Fewest conceded was ourselves, 1 clear of City, and we were 55% possession, just 3% behind Man City. So very successful in possession as well. We conceded the least shots over the whole season by 40 odds to Man City 288, which is very, very impressive. But 8 shots a game, so very good there. And most shots for 864, 114 more than Manchester City. I'm going to go through and show lots of highlights in this video as well. Bit of a jibber jabber this video. I'm going to see sort of what I can make it out to be and what you guys like. There's going to be a lot of different sort of cutting them to different bits of the season and showing you some highlights, and then obviously the results of the tactic as well, with the 3 tactics, because like I said, there's an offensive style, there's a mid style, and there's an attacking style, which is obviously good fun as you Man United, because you get to use all 3 quite a lot. And points per game 2.32. Data hub wise, we smashed it. 2.61 goals per game over the whole entire season, with just 0.71 goals conceded as well. And like I said, we go through this schedule, and we'll start off just in the Premier League, shall we? Because that should be good fun to show you. Premier League, we were very, very good at the start of the season. Literally incredible until the 21st of January. We lost 4-2 to Spurs, and then a few weeks later losing to Liverpool. But end the season strong. You got 2-1, 7-0, 0-0, 4-0, 2-0, 5-2, 3-2, 5-0, 8-0 against Burnley. And in this game, we had 34 shots, 20 shots on target, and a 5.19 XG. It's a free, that one's a 4-1-4-1. It's a very aggressive system. 5-0 against Burnley up here as well. And there's one game I want to show you against Manchester City, a 3-0 victory. And we absolutely smashed them in this game. We had 47% possession, but we played a 4-2-3-1 defensive style of play, and we smashed them off the park. More shots than them, same as on target, double their XG, and we were overall fantastic in this game and kept Man City to very little. 2 ball midfielders in midfield being very aggressive. Obviously, with the signing, we've just had Here We Go for Sofian Amrabat, him and Casemiro in midfield. Unbelievable. And actually, when you look at it, our home form this season was outrageous. We drew 2 games all season against Arsenal and against Chelsea. The rest were all wins. We were fantastic at home, which is great because United last season, very similar to that. Away from home, I alluded to the fact that we did lose 2 games. We weren't quite as good away from home. We did use the more sort of the mid-tier or the defensive tier in these games. I sort of wanted to try and test the tactics fully, so I wasn't using the 4-1-4-1 in these games. A bit of a dodgy spell here without winning in 3. Newcastle, City, Spurs, 3 very tough games. Picking up 2 draws and a loss isn't awful, but not the greatest. And winning the last day of the season, a 2-1 victory against Arsenal. Now, in other competitions, Champions League, we managed to get Manchester City in the quarterfinals. We did lose that 5-2 on aggregate back at Old Trafford. We drew 2-2. I went all-out attack in this one after the first game. Didn't quite work for being more sort of defensive. It didn't work. We ended up drawing 2-2 and losing 5-2 on aggregate. So a very tough draw in the Champions League. And the same goes for the FA Cup as well, given Chelsea, and we lose 2-0 in this one as well. I was very, very disappointed in this game because we were actually fantastic from 90% of the season. We beat Chelsea home and away, and then it comes out the FA Cup semi-finals, and we lost to Armando Broja and Datro for final. We played a very, very strong side in that game as well, so quite disappointing. And the Carabao Cup as well, we were 4th rounded by Brentford of all teams, losing 2-1. Again, a little bit annoying, but I think you can sort of see from the Premier League and the schedule that we were very good over the entire season. You know, there's a few games which weren't the best, but overall, we were very, very good as far as things go. In terms of the transfers, obviously, we did make quite a few transfers. We tried to be fairly realistic. I think the best thing I can do is sort of go through the squad. Let me set this to full team because I've got a little bit of a way of setting up my personal saves, which helps me quite a lot. So if I just change them 2 out as well. The start of the season, I did bring in Ryan Gravenberch. He went to Liverpool in real life, so I very quickly got him out the door and got in Sofiane Amrabat as a 4. We'll be as realistic as possible. Very good over the season as well. 6.94 average rating for us. Onana was fantastic in goal. 6.97, 44 appearances. Fantastic goalkeeper. Wan-Bissaka, 17 games, 15 off the bench. Dalot, 38 and 11. Both very good fullbacks. Dalot, slightly better for me on FM this year. Rafa Varane with 33 games, Martinez with 40. And the 2 centre-backs were Lindelof for 16 games and Jean-Claire Todibo with 23 games. Now, this is a scenario where I sold Maguire. He went for 30 million to somewhere, and I brought in Todibo because fantastic player. Again, linked in real life and is a really, really strong player on this year's FM. Luke Shaw did very well at left-back. Casemiro as a DM was decent. 33 games and 3 off the bench. But with Amrabat coming in and superstar youngster Kobe Mainu, I'm going to try to put it on the screen now. He won the Next Gen Award, and I managed to develop him into a really good player. Played 26 games over the course of this season, and if you guys are starting a Manchester United save, get Kobe Mainu in the first team as a minimum. And what I did for the first half of the season was I had him available for the under-21 squad for matches, but still training with the first team. This makes a massive difference to development of players, so make sure you're doing that with superstar Kobe Mainu. Bruno Fernandes, 17 goals and 19 assists over 50 games. Mason Mount, 7 goals and 19 assists as well. 2 amazing seasons for both of them, and very happy with Mason Mount as well, playing 20 less games than Bruno. Getting the same assists and just under 10 goals as well was great. Anthony, 12 goals and 14 assists. Marcus Rashford, 12 goals and 16 assists in 42 games. Very good season, but I'm glad we didn't rely on Marcus. You can see we've got Bruno, Marcus, Anthony and Højlund all above 10 goals. Højlund with 37 in 38. Absolute monster up front in any system I played him in. This guy, bad goals for fun. A 7.60 average rating. He loves a big match. He's consistent. He's 22 years of age. Great finishing, great work rate, great pace, great determination. First touch is fantastic as well. And actually in the match engine, like I said, this is a season I actually played the whole season, and this is what needs to rebuild this sort of guide sort of is. I'm actually play a season through with the tactics and get to know the players very well, and Højlund was unbelievable, and I absolutely love him in real life. He was fantastic here as well. Brand new signing Ante Biendir with 11 games, a 7 average rating. He played the early stages of the Cups for us and the Champions League. And then we go on to Sofiane Amrabat, was very good. Eriksen, 13 games, 12 off the bench, 3 goals, 6 assists. James Sancho, 19 starts, 20 off the bench, 6 and 9. Alejandro Garnacho, 22 starts, 19 off the bench. It was unbelievable this season. Play him off the right, play him off the left. I play him down the middle sometimes. Fantastic, developed brilliantly, and again, just get this kid some game time, same as Kobe Mainu. Make sure he's in the first team. I mean, Garnacho's a little bit more ready to actually start games as well, but obviously you have got Rashford, Sancho and Antony. Just make sure he gets game time because he was fantastic this season. Absolutely lights at the Premier League if he gets the minutes required. In January, I brought in Evan Ferguson and got rid of Anthony Martial. Evan Ferguson is a player I can see coming to Manchester United in the future. I think next summer, him and Højlund as our 2 strikers, unbelievable. That would be unbelievable. Again, a little bit, I wouldn't say it's unrealistic because he's only 20 years of age. He's not a massive impact player. And he played 26 games overall, scoring 16 goals. Very, very good for us. Unbelievable striker in real life, and I really hope he does end up at United. And again, someone you guys should be bringing into your United saves. Facundo Pellistri played 6 games, 16 off the bench, 2 goals and 3 assists. Scott McTominay went out to Barcelona, and in fact, let's actually have a look at the transfers I did end up making. So Harry Maguire left to Atletico Madrid for 12 million, Donny van der Beek for 10, Martial to Tottenham for 5 million. Ahead of a lot of loan signings and free signings going out. I signed some wonder kids because this is a save I'm actually going to carry on for myself. So Ethan Batera and David Calico are 2 free transfers who are fantastic, and I'm going to be using in my future sort of playing of FM. Ferguson and Sophie Ambratt with the January signings. But India you can pick up for just £8 million. Obviously, if you go over to the Sortitoutsi website, you can make all these transfers for free. It's a data update. If literally as soon as you go on Sortitoutsi, click on downloads, update FM23. And it's fantastic. It updates to give you, loads of new wonder kids, like, superstar Lamine Yamal is on my version of FM. I get a lot of comments saying, how are these wonder kids on your game? It's because I've got that update from Sortitoutsi. You can get players like Lamine Yamal, Shaquille Van Persie, and a lot of great wonder kids as well. Shea Lacey at United. So yeah, some fantastic players coming in as well. We did loan out of quite a few players as well, and again, there's some very good wonder kids to keep an eye out here if you are starting a Manchester United save. Alvaro Fernandez is fantastic, played 49 games for Reading. Isaac Hansen-Arowen is a fantastic midfielder. Again, keep an eye on him, as well as Dan Gore, who was on loan at Cheltenham this year. Tena Mengi's just left in real life to head to Luton, so big up Tena Mengi. Amad Diallo is in the Premier League at Sheffield United, 35 games, 7 goals and 4 assists. So very good season, but not quite going to be Manchester United level on this year's FM. I hope it's different on Next FM. And I think I'm going to do these Next FM as well because they're good little bits of fun. Again, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to smash the like button. Will Fish, very good. Shola Retiro, very good. Radek Vitek, very good as well. We know we've got fantastic facilities here at United, and money does quite literally grow on trees. I mean, we've got so much debt, everything else, but somehow every year with Manchester United, they have a crazy budget, and I've not tweaked anything. £142 million, 600k in wage budget. This is obviously the end of the first season, so very, very fun there. I don't know what else to talk about in this video. I mean, if you guys are watching this still at the very end, obviously make sure to like the video, but what more would you like to see in these videos? Like to see some more highlights of actual in-game. Obviously, I'm going to show you now the 3 sims of the tactic and the actual tactics themselves. But if there's more stuff you want to see, make sure to get that in the comments below, because I don't think I'm missing out on too much. But if you want me to do sort of more in-game highlights of Wonder Kids, etc., let me know, because I'm really enjoying I really enjoyed actually playing FM again and making it for a video and actually playing the game. So yeah, make sure to get that down in the comments below. But first of all, let's go over to the tactics before I do go anywhere else. These are the 3 tactics. We have first of all a 4-3-3, the 23-24 season it is saved as. These are going to be downloadable in my Discord and on Patreon. I'm not going to put them on Sortitoutsi or anything because, to be honest, they're more realistic tactics. They do get very, very good results, as you have seen. And again, I have done full season sims with the specific tactic locked in, which I will show you, but they're not like ultimate 4-3-3 tactics or anything. They're more just realistic to United and how we play. And again, you can use this with other teams, but this is specifically built for Manchester United. Super keep on attack in goal, more direct passes with Andre Onana. Very excited for Onana to be in goal, and he was fantastic this season. Wing back on support on the right hand side with Wan-Bissaka, cross aim centre, and Joe Roulette. The same on the left hand side with cross aim centre but closed down less. Luke Shaw obviously a little bit slower than Wan-Bissaka, but doesn't quite get as aggressive, but could dribble more, but he does get onto the ball. Martinez, very aggressive left-sided centre back, close down more. Right centre back, a little more of a cover. No further instructions. Both ball players on defend. Casemiro in the cam role as an anchor man on defend, close down less but tackle harder. Yes, he gets lots and lots of yellow cards and even some red cards, but that's the beauty of Casemiro, and it was great to have him in DM this season. Mason Mount as the left centre mid, run wide of the ball, close down more, and Mezzala on support, and a centre mid on attack on the right hand side is Bruno Fernandes, move into channels, close down more and tackle harder. You've got the inverted winger on support on the right hand side, cross less often, cross aim centre and stay wider. The inverted forward on attack on the left hand side, shoot more often, sit narrower, tackle harder, with a complete forward on attack up front, pass it shorter, close down more and tackle harder. I think this is going to be the mid-tier sort of standard United tactic that I use for most games. And I think Højlund is going to be unbelievable in this system. I think we'll be very good in this system as well. Positive mentality in possession is set to play out defence, shorter passing directness but a higher tempo, pass into space, a fairly wide attacking width, but obviously with two inverted wingers, so very exciting because they can cut in but start in nice and wide. Pass into space and be more expressive in transition, take shorter kicks, counter and counter press. And our possession is a high press system, triggering the press much more often and preventing the short goalkeeper distribution. If you lock in the 4-3-3 for an entire season and simulate with it, you come second in the Premier League on 87 points, just 1 point behind what I did when I simmed everything together. We won the FA Cup, we won the Champions League, and we come semi-finals in the Carabao Cup. Data hub wise was very good, 2.29 goals per game, slightly less, but conceding less goals with 0.66. And again, goals coming from everywhere, which is beautiful. More from Rashford when we lock in at the 4-3-3, because when you're in the 4-1-4-1, there's a lot of players in high up positions, so Rashford probably doesn't get quite the space, but in this position, he loved it. 34 goals for Højlund, 27 for Rashford, 20 for Bruno Fernandes, 16 for Mason Mount, 13 for Martial, who we obviously didn't sign Evan Ferguson in this one. Anthony, 11, 10 for Eriksen with 24 assists as well, Sancho, 9 and 12. And again, a few games come from Garnacho, but again, this is just a straight up sim. This isn't trying to get use out of the Wonder Kids. This is just lock in the formation and see how it does. Very well is the answer, and very happy with how the system actually performed. In terms of the Premier League, we come third on goals scored of 87, goals conceded 25, so you can see scoring a few less goals, but certainly conceding a few less. Possession-wise, 57%, so 2% more than we did have. A few less shots, a few more shots conceded. Overall, very happy with the 4-3-3 formation. Then we move on to the more aggressive 4-1-4-1. Superkeeper on attack, Andre Onana, more direct passes. Wing back on support on the right hand side, cross aim centre, sit narrower and close down less. And a wing back on support, cross aim centre, sit narrower and close down less. Two ball playing defenders. The left hand side does not have close down more because it did a few too many goals. Anchorman on defend with close down less. And you've got the four up here, very aggressive. Inverted winger on attack on the right hand side, cross less often, cross aim centre and stay wider. The inside forward on attack on the left hand side, shoot more often, sit narrower, close down more, tackle harder. An attack midfield on support, tackle harder. And an advanced playmaker on support with moving to channels, close down more, tackle harder. With an advanced forward up front on attack, pass it shorter, close down more and tackle harder. Positive mentality in possession, pass into space, play at defence, run in defence, play for set pieces and attack fairly wide. In transition, counter press and counter, take short kicks, and in out of possession as well, high press, triggering the press much more often and preventing the short goal distribution. Again, a very aggressive system, only set to a positive mentality. If I was, really needing to chase a game, I would chuck that to attacking as the big sort of thing, but this is already a very attacking and a very aggressive system, which you can see from the data hub from the full season sim, locking in the 4-1-4-1, 2.95 goals per game, so 0.3 more than we got with the whole season altogether, and 0.7 more than the 4-3-3, but conceding more on a 0.82, which is 0.2 more than the 4-3-3, and about 0.1 more than the full season playthrough. Competitions wise, we won the league, 92 points, 81 goal difference, 28 wins, 8 draws, 2 losses. Semi-finaled in the Champions League by Real Madrid, 4th rounded by Leeds in the FA Cup, and quarter-finaled by Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. I think this is sort of showing exactly what this formation's about. Get very good results, score lots of goals, play against a big team, you might lose a couple of them on the off game, and again, even against a small team, you have to be clever. You can't just go out there and be too aggressive, as we've shown by losing to Leeds in the Premier League. Again, looking at the stats, most goals, 112, so 13 more than I scored in the full season sim. Conceded, we conceded 31, so 3 more there. Possession-wise, we don't keep a lot of the ball in this formation. It is very aggressive, very attacking, very high-paced. Lots of shots of 8-3-4, fewer shots 378, so definitely more shots conceded, but obviously the big one, scored the most goals. Again, players wise, a lot more goals come from the striker, 53 and 9 from Højlund. Rashford, 24 and 18, 23 and 21 from Bruno Fernandes, 17 and 19 from Antony, 10 and 11 from Mason Mount, 7 and 16 from Eriksen, 6 and 2 from Casemiro, 5 and 3 from Martial, 5 and 4 from Rafael Varane. And again, this doesn't sort of take into account the fact we're going to try and use Garnacho and develop Facundo Pellistri and Kobe Mainoo. This is just the best players are going to get picked pretty much every single game by the AI. The final formation is the more combative 4-2-3-1 with dual ball winning midfielders on support. Just quickly, I want to say to the Patreons a massive thank you to you guys. Your names are on screen right now and you are literally making my dreams come true of making content. If you guys do want a direct link to this tactic or any of the tactics, they're all going to be on Patreon as well as in the Discord. Both links are down below. Discord is obviously free to join. Patreon, to get links to these, it's going to be, I think, the £2 tier will be the tactic downloads. Again, I'm not selling the tactics. You can get them directly to the screen or join the Discord. But if you do want to help support, obviously I massively appreciate it. So that is all down there as well. So if you do watch the rebuilds, you get the links from them as well. And you get to pick up from the end of the rebuilds, which is always good fun. So yeah, the 4-2-3-1 system. So a super keeper on attack in goal, more direct passes, wing back on support on the right, close down, less cross aim centre, the exact same on the left hand side. 2 ball playing defenders, no further instructions. Ball midfielder on defend, no further instructions. Ball midfielder on supports, no further instructions. This is quite a good sort of way to run things because you have a very sort of more defensive minded and a more aggressive minded. Both of them are aggressive because ball midfielders are quite aggressive. They like to close down the ball and regain possession. But the support one will also help out in this role here, whereas the defensive one will very much not. Inside forward on attack on the left hand side, shoot more often, sit narrower, close down more and tackle harder. And an inverted winger on the right hand side, cross less often, cross aim centre and stay wider. Attack midfielder on support in the hole, doing nothing else but that. No further instructions. An advanced forward on attack up front, pass it shorter, close down more and tackle harder. A balanced mentality in this one. Play out of defence, play for set pieces, be more expressive and fairly wide. In transition, take short kicks, counter and counter press. And out of possession, high press, press much more often and trigger and prevent the short distribution as well. And you can see from the results, again, pretty much exactly what I expected. Coming third in the Premier League with 81 points. Again, losing 9 games. And that is to a lot of teams that we should be able to go out and beat. Brentford, West Ham, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Fulham, Aston Villa. That's because we're not being aggressive enough. We're inviting too much pressure. And do not use this formation against them sort of teams. It's meant for the bigger boys, which means the Champions League. We do win 2-1, beating Arsenal in the final. FA Cup semi-final by Spurs and Carabao Cup semi-final by Arsenal. But very much showing exactly what this formation is about. 2.37 goals per game, 0.97 conceded per game. So because we invited so much pressure on ourselves against the smaller teams, we conceded more goals, which was very silly. So do not just lock in this formation. Again, I fully recommend using all 3 formations and being clever with who you play them against. 46 goals for Rasmus Højlund, 24 and 23 for Bruno, 16 and 12 for Jadon Sancho, 15 and 17 for Rashford, 11 and 8 for Antony, 10 and 6 for Mason Mount, 8 and 4 for Martial, 5 and 15 for Eriksen. And the last thing I want to show you guys as well is going back to the sort of main save that I've got and showing you which games I actually used which formation against. You can again get a little bit of a gauge of what games I mean when I say play the aggressive system, the defensive system. I think it's quite sort of self-explanatory, but let me just actually get in the filter and then I can show you. So here it is, you can see with the formation wise. So Manchester City in the Community Shield play the 4-3-3, Everton 4-3-3, Fulham 4-3-3, Brentford 4-3-3, Palace 4-3-3. And I think this is when I started to sort of experiment a bit more. 1-0, the 4-1-5 against Arsenal at home, went very aggressive, got a point. Probably should play the 4-3-3. 1-0 against Sheffield United away from home, played the very aggressive system, 1-1-0. Galatasaray, aggressive system, 3-0 win. Man City, defensive system, 3-0 win. Derby, aggressive system, 6-0 win. 2 of the 4-3-3 games, 2-2 and 2-2 against Brighton and PSV, both away from homes, both very good results. Spurs at home, I played the 4-3-3 rather than the 4-2-3-1. We're at home, we can go and beat them, and that's exactly what we did. Middlesbrough in the Premier League beat them 3-0. Partizan and Bournemouth, 3 results in a row, all using the aggressive formation. Lost in the Carabao Cup using the 4-3-3 away at home against Brentford. Now, at home at the start of the season, we played the 4-3-3 against them and won 2-0. Maybe in this game, I should have transitioned into 4-2-3-1. Away from home in the Cup, slightly weaker side out, Bayindia, Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Lindelof, Malacia, Sancho, Scott McTominay, Eriksen, Rashford, Fernandes and Højlund, so still quite quite a strong side, but did end up losing that one. West Ham 4-2-3-1. I tried to go defensive against them and drew 0-0. Partizan beat them 2-1 away from home in the 4-3-3. Villa at home 4-3-3, 4-0. Wolves away from home 4-3-3, 3-0 victory. I went for aggressive against PSV, beat them 3-0. Aggressive against Burnley, beat them 5-0 away from home. 2-2 away against Galatasaray. I went aggressive. I didn't change it quick enough in game. We conceded 2 goals when winning, so a bit silly from me. But again, in-game management, you've got to be smart. Home against Chelsea, 4-3-3, drew 2-2. 1-0 against Nottingham Forest in the 4-1-5 or the 4-1-4-1 away from home. Again, probably should have played the 4-3-3 in this one, maybe too aggressive against them. Liverpool 4-2-3-1 at home, aggressive, combative, defensive style of play. We ended up beating Liverpool. Newcastle away from home in the 4-3-3, 2-2 draw, beating Brighton at home 4-2 in the 4-3-3. 1-1 against Manchester City away from home in the 4-2-3-1. 4-0 against Middlesbrough in the aggressive 4-1-4-1. At home that was. Away against Bournemouth 4-1-5, beaten 2-1. Away against Spurs, lost 4-2. Played the 4-3-3. Definitely should have played the 4-2-3-1 in that one, looking back on it. Newcastle at home, a 2-0 victory. Fulham away from home, a 4-0 victory using the aggressive 4-1-4-1. Middlesbrough 4-1-4-1, 4-1. Same against Everton with a 2-0 victory. Porto 4-3-3 away from home. Beat them 1-1. Liverpool lost in the Prem, tried the defensive system, end up losing 1-0. That's the sort of game that you might lose regardless of the formation you play. I played defensive, we lost 1-0. I'm not actually embarrassed against that. Very good Liverpool side, not too unhappy. 3-0 against Fulham using the aggressive system. 2-0 against Forest using the aggressive system. 4-2-3-1 away against Chelsea. Drew 1-1 and that's due to an 84th minute goal by Callum Hudson-Odoi. So very good in that one. 5-1 using the 4-3-3 against Porto at home. 8-0 using the 4-1-4-1 against Burnley, which we absolutely destroyed them in. Arsenal 2-1 in extra time using the 4-3-3. Again, very happy with that result. 4-1-4-1 against Wolves, 5-0. Champions League 4-2-3-1 away against Manchester City. We just got dominated in this game. 3-0 down in 38 minutes. Probably too defensive in this one. I mean, I say that, but it's probably what you've got to do against Manchester City. Again, sometimes they're just too good. Bournemouth 4-1-4-1, 3-2 victory away from home. Drew with City using the 4-1-4-1 at home in the Champions League, trying to chase the game. So very decent result in that one. 2-0 loss to Chelsea using the 4-3-3 in the FA Cup semi-final. 72nd and 90th minute, I think I went to the 4-1-4-1 at some point to try and get the goal and lost. 5-2 victory against West Ham with the 4-1-4-1. 2-2 against Aston Villa using the 4-1-4-1. 4-0 against Crystal Palace using the 4-1-4-1. 0-0 away to Brentford using that 4-3-3. Obviously, that sort of backs up my point earlier on against that Brentford game. 7-0 against Sheffield United using the 4-1-4-1. And 2-1 on the last day of the season to lift the trophy against Arsenal using the 4-3-3. I'm very happy with how this video has turned out. I think I've gone through everything I can. If you guys have got any suggestions or what to add to these videos, let me know down in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel because there's going to be lots of rebuilds coming out. Now the window is done. We're going to have some great fun. We've got Forest to rebuild, Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, lots of sort of lower half Premier League sides, which are going to try and take as far as we did Wolves in this rebuild just down here, or even the Bournemouth one, because it might be that one. It will be that one. The Bournemouth rebuild. Watch it. It's great.